All right, so final workout of the fifth week of the summer bulk, not summer bulk, of the fall cut. And we'll start with the Bible verse of the day, which comes from Proverbs chapter 13, verse 20. Whoever walks with the wise becomes wise, but the companion of fools will suffer harm. So I think this is really just emphasizing how, surrounding yourself, with like-minded people. People that are not necessarily highly motivated, but highly disciplined. People that you have goals, have aspirations. People that work very hard, that are just very disciplined. And if you can really surround yourself with people like that, and I'm not just talking about disciplined with career-wise, jobs. If it's bodybuilding, any other sport, I'm talking about people that are disciplined, with with their minds. People that say they're going to do something, they stick to it. People that you know may have a strong faith. People that treat other people consistently well. Surrounding yourself with good quality people like that you can really just feed off of each other and really better each other. If that makes sense. So it's been proven, it's been done, and it's something that if you can really keep your circles small, you don't have to have 100 friends. You get just a few friends, or even just a couple, or even just one that is very serious about what really matters in life, and you can really help them improve, and they help you improve, and you really push each other in the right direction. A lot of good can come out of that. So workout wise, calves and arms, same routine as always. Only thing that changes is with progressive overload, we either add more weight to a certain movement or we get more reps. Intensity is the main factor. And we'll also do, just to kind of update you guys, my cardio routine while on the fall cut now is I'll do cardio Monday evening, full rest day Tuesday. I'll do cardio Wednesday evening, and then sometime Friday it'll fluctuate. It'll depend if I work or not. So Friday will usually be either in the morning or afternoon or evening. It really depends whenever I work. But when I work here, I also work at the gym. So if I work, in the evening usually, that's usually whenever I work, I'll just do my cardio later at night, like 10 o'clock or 8 o'clock, whatever it is. But then I'll lift early afternoon. That's pretty much the same thing. I've always been lifting at the same time recently, past few weeks, so that hasn't changed. So we lift at the same times, but the cardio will kind of just depend whenever I work. But it'll pretty much always be in the evening. So that's the plan with cardio. But so we'll do cardio this evening, probably around 7 or 8 o'clock. Lift, go home, eat, relax a little bit, and then come back here again and do some cardio. So that's been the routine. So I will see you guys in there for calves and arms. All right, so we'll start with calves as always. So with the calf raises, we jumped up in weight this week from 150 to 160, and we'll just do one warm-up set and then one top set to failure within that 15 to 30 rep range, the same rep range that I'll do with all my accessory leg movements, leg extensions, leg curls, and also with my crunches. So the main thing with this is as slow and controlled, I wouldn't say as slow and controlled, but slow and controlled enough on the eccentric part of the movement. We're not going super slow, but controlled enough. And I know, weeks ago I was saying how you have to go super, super slow, and that's just not the case. I wouldn't say I was misled by that, but I think that was me just being like not mindful of, what's really most important with this high intensity, low volume training is, the first couple words of it, high intensity. Intensity is the main factor, and with every movement, that is what we're really focusing on the most. All right, so first movement for triceps is going to be a bit different than our usual. The cables that were upstairs with the much heavier stacks was not available, so we had to improvise, and we went with crossbody extensions here, which is primarily going to hit the medial and lateral heads of the tricep, as our skull crushers after will primarily target the long head of the triceps. So with these, I use this, you see the slight attachment there that you put around your wrist, so I'm not grabbing anything. When I did these in the past, I would just use a strap to where I would have to grab that very, very firmly, and I feel like that was kind of limiting me. So with this, don't have to grab anything at all, and I'm just focusing on the extension movement itself. So this honestly felt this honestly felt really good. I'll be honest, but I do prefer the V-bar pushdowns, no doubt about it. But this is definitely a pretty good alternative. So thankfully, with the knowledge that I have, was able to improvise and use a very effective and good movement in place of the V-bar pushdowns. But nonetheless, we did our usual single arm pushdowns to warm up our triceps, and then we just did one warm up set for each side with this, and then 2 top sets for each side within that 5 to 9 rep range, going to failure and finishing with partials. Alright, so our second movement for triceps will be the over exaggerated skull crushers. So we jumped up in weight with this to the 45s on each side. So even though we're on the cut, going up in weight, making the progressions not as frequently as on the bulk, but we're still making the right progressions and really prioritizing progressive overload. Huge part of our training, something that is implemented in every single workout. So with these, we'll do just one warm-up set and then 2 top sets to failure within that 5 to 9 rep range, finishing with partials. And the big thing with this is we're not bringing this out in front of the face. We're keeping this behind the head and more so above the forehead, eyes area. So really staying in that lengthened position. So would definitely suggest doing these over exaggerated skull crushers than your normal skull crushers if I were you guys. I think they're just better. You'll get better stimulation, more tension on the triceps, so I think it's just better. Alright, so first movement for biceps / forearms is going to be our preacher dumbbell curls. So we jumped up from the 35s to the 40s, and we'll just do one warm-up set and then one top set to failure, finishing with partials within that 5 to 9 rep range. And these are tough, I'll be honest. These really do a lot more than pre-exhaust, our forearms and our biceps here. But this is primarily targeting the brachialis muscle connecting from our forearm to our biceps. So you want that big arm look. You definitely need to be doing some kind of hammer curl variation. This would be my number one suggestion. There's other variations doing with cables with the rope attachment, but this would definitely be my suggestion. Alright, so just to clarify, for the dumbbell incline curls, 1 warm-up set and then 2 top sets to failure within that 5 to 9 rep range. So next movement will be the barbell curls. So we jumped up from the 90-pound barbell, or 90 pounds on each side, whichever way you want to describe it, to the 100-pound. So with this, being up against the wall, mitigating any kind of momentum being used, and focusing the most on our biceps here. So we'll just do 1 warm-up set and then 1 top set to failure within that 5 to 9 rep range, finishing with partials. Alright, so final movement for arms is going to be reverse curls. This is primarily targeting the forearms, but also hitting the biceps as well. So we get a bit of both worlds. And I've been doing these for years. Mostly did these for baseball, as I always had at least 1 or 2 different forearm movements in my routine. But with these, just 1 warm-up set and then 1 top set to failure within that 5 to 9 rep range, finishing with partials. Alright, so we'll finish with our second time doing our core bias movement, the crunches on the Nautilus machine. So aiming for that 15 to 30 rep range, finishing with partials. Jumped up in weight this time from 100 pounds on the stack to 110 pounds on the stack. So making the progressions with this. And I made it a bit more challenging. Didn't grab the handles and just had my elbows there on the pads. It makes it harder. It's going to give you more of a burn. It's going to be more challenging, but that's exactly how we want it. We want to challenge ourselves and push ourselves as much as we can. So all in all, I'd say a pretty good workout. Never going to be satisfied, but that's bodybuilding. That's what it has to be. If you want to be the best, if you want to be the best version of yourself, you cannot be satisfied. You always have to be looking to do more. Always have to keep pushing yourself to the max. And yeah, I like where we're at, progression-wise, but we still got to be better, still got to improve. So that'll do it for today. I appreciate you guys watching the TikToks, the Reels, and watching the YouTube videos. So I thank you for the support. I'll see you guys on Monday for a hamstring-focused leg day for the 6th week of the fall cut. God bless.